Hello everyone, Robert Rambles here, and welcome to World of Warcraft Classic Vanilla and the beginning of our Human Warlock Hardcore run. We are going to be on the Bloodsail Buccaneers server, which is a USE server, and if you're not familiar with it, it has an enormous hardcore community and roleplay community, so that is what we are going to be starting up today. We are going to enable two add-ons. We're going to be using Immersion, which is going to change our quest text boxes into readable text boxes. And we're going to be using the Hardcore add-on. I've never used the Hardcore add-on before, so we're going to be trying it out today. Let's go ahead and get into things here, and then I'll talk about the rules of this playthrough.
The noble humans of Stormwind are a proud, tenacious race. Though the recent invasion of the demonic Burning Legion decimated their sister kingdom of Lordaeron, the defenders of Stormwind stand vigilant against any who would threaten the sanctity of their lands. Nestled in the foothills of Elwyn Forest, Stormwind City is one of the last bastions of human power in the world. Ruled by the Child King Anduin Wrynn, the people of Stormwind remain steadfast in their commitment to the Grand Alliance. Backed by their stalwart allies, the armies of Stormwind have been called away to fight the savage horde on distant battlefields. With the armies gone, the defense of Stormwind now falls to its proud citizens. You must defend the kingdom against the foul mongrels that encroach upon it, and hunt down the subversive traitors who seek to destroy it from within. Now is the time for heroes. Now humanity's greatest chapter can be told.
Alright, and that is our cue, so let's talk about some of the rules here. Actually, maybe we will just read some of this stuff, because I've never seen this before. So this is my first time. This is a pop-up from the Hardcore add-on. Welcome to Classic Hardcore. If playing in a duo or trio, click Party tab or not. To select achievements, click on an icon in the Achievement tab. At any point during the run, open the Hardcore tab on the character screen to check party status and achievements. This window will not appear past level 2, and configuration cannot be changed later to make sure to fill these out correctly. Hardcore contract. Join the Discord. By clicking the button below, you agree to the following statement. I have read the rules, the Hardcore Discord. Of course I've read all this stuff. Of course I've done all the reading that I have to do. I understand that disconnect appeal. Okay, so just basic stuff. Achievements. Lots of achievements. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we're set to solo, so that should be good. So you can do duos and trios. Oh, that's really interesting. That would be pretty amazing. Let's begin our adventure. There we go. So we are in. So a couple of the rules. If you're not familiar with Hardcore, we are only going to be doing self-found gear. So self-found gear is any gear that you make yourself through professions. It's any gear that you loot. It's any gear you get from a quest. And it's any gear you can find on a vendor. Basically, the only exclusions to self-found loot are loot you get traded from another player. You can't get any mail, so you can't get mailed stuff, and you can't buy anything off of the auction house. Other things, obviously death equals delete, so we absolutely 100% cannot die. If we die, that is the end of our run, and we will be deleting the character. Let's go ahead and we'll get started here. We'll grab a couple of the intro quests. Typically, I do read most of the quest. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know that. I hope you strapped your belt on tight, young Warlock, because there is work to be done here in Northshire, and I don't mean farming. The Stormwind Guards are hard-pressed to keep the peace here, with so many of us in distant lands and so many threats pressing close. And so we're enlisting the aid of anyone willing to defend their home.
Have a good one.
We are going to go talk to Marshal McBride. He wants us to clean out the local kobold population infesting the mine nearby. So we'll grab his quest, and then we will talk a little bit more about what we have going on here. So we don't have any add-ons. The only add-ons we're using are what you saw, where we have changed the quest text to a readable text box. That just makes it easier for me because I do like to read a lot of the quest.
How are you?
Go look for Egan. Egan needs some help. We'll go find him. And so yeah, so those are the basic rules. It's just death equals delete. We can only equip self-found gear. A couple of things that I've done specifically to make my hardcore playthrough a little bit more hardcore is obviously I'm not using Questy. I'm not using any quest add-ons to help us complete quest. And the only add-ons we're using are the hardcore add-on and Immersion. Other things I've done is you might notice that as we look off here into the distance, we don't see floating names. We have no floating bars at a distance. We have no floating names at a distance. We have no NPC or character names. To me, I like it because it cleans up the visual field and adds to the immersion. But another thing it does is that it makes things more challenging later on. For instance, without being able to see floating nameplates, there will be a lot of times when you will stumble upon an enemy that's aggressive to you. And since you won't be able to see the red floating plates, you can get yourselves into trouble. And I find that a very interesting mode of play. So that is what we have going on. Let's start in on some of these wolves here before we tackle the kobolds. So we have just our auto attack and shadow bolt. Sends a shadowy bolt at the enemy causing 12 to 16 shadow damage. This warrior is brave, but they're level 6, so I can't really blame them. Let's do a /who. I'm curious to see who's on at 9:30. So we do have some people playing at 9:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, so that's pretty promising. Let's start in here with some shadow bolts. Mana's probably not going to be a huge issue early on, but we will do some stabbing here. A couple of things we need to turn on auto loot. Let's go into interface options, auto loot, and we'll pop on a couple of additional action bars as well. There we go. That should be good for the time being. Let's go ahead and pop on our Demon Skin ability. Protects the caster, increasing armor by 40 and restores 3 health every 5 seconds. That's a 30-minute buff. Definitely want to have that up at all times. So on this character, we will be leveling up Tailoring and we will be leveling up Skinning. I'm taking Skinning mainly so we can sell the skins at vendors for coin, but also because every once in a while when you're working on more advanced tailoring recipes, you will need a little bit of leather. And since we can't use the auction house, we don't have any way to get leather except to find it or buy it on vendors. So yeah, we're going to go Tailoring and Skinning for all the skins. We could probably just go ahead and keep casting them down here. Our mana seems to regen pretty quickly early on, and the dagger's not doing a lot. Dagger is not doing a lot. If you're new to the channel, firstly, I should say thank you for being here, especially if you're still hanging out with us. I really do appreciate you. And you might notice that I play World of Warcraft a little bit differently than most people on the internet, and mainly that is I like to have a relaxing time. I like to be chill and get immersed in things, and try to create an immersive experience for you guys. And yeah, as part of that, I do read a lot of the quests. Sometimes I'll just summarize them, because I'm pretty familiar with a lot of them. And I tend to keep the music and the ambient sounds way up there, so I want you guys to be able to hear the music and stuff in the forefront. If any of the sounds need to be adjusted, let me know, and we can get that done for subsequent videos. It's a good time to ding level 2. We'll finish getting the wolf meat, and then we will go talk to our trainer. And I should probably just be casting a little bit more aggressively here. My experience with the Warlock class is basically nil. I have never played a Warlock in Classic past level 16 or 17. I think we got a Blood Elf Warlock in the start of Burning Crusade. And that was it. So yeah, it'll be, if we get going, which, you know, we just had a Shaman die that I was pretty confident in the Shaman. I didn't feel like I got overconfident, but maybe I did. But yeah, it'll be a learning experience no matter how far we get, because I just don't have any familiarity. Alright, so 7-1 more, and then we'll get this turned in. Whoops. Now, there is a hardcore guild, and I know that that would probably be the easiest way for me to do things like dungeon runs. So as we get higher level and we get closer to doing a dungeon, Dead Mines would probably be our first one. I'll think about the guild. I wouldn't have the chat up when I'm recording. That's kind of the thing, is that, you know, I like to be able to keep my window here because I like you guys to see skill ups and stuff like that. But I don't want you guys to have to see a guild chat. And I don't think that guild chat should be broadcast on the internet. So the only caveat to me joining that guild is that I would probably pop in to look for groups. And that would be about it.
Hey there. Safe travel.
Alright, so we got some boots. We can equip these. These are self-found gear. And with the hardcore rules that we're using with the hardcore add-on, there is no restrictions to rarity. So we can literally equip whatever. We're not stuck as an Iron Man or a Green Man. Those are not the rules that the hardcore community and the hardcore add-on uses. Alright, we'll just sell everything for now. We'll keep the water, and probably the food too would be a good idea.
Be careful.
Okay, let's see if we can find our trainer. Maybe, I love the body floating here in the middle of the air. It just makes you wonder how exactly that happened.
Hello.
Let's see. Recently, a new group of thieves has been hanging around Northshire. They call themselves the Defias Brotherhood and have been seen across the river to the east. I don't know what they're up to, but I'm sure it's not good. Bring me the bandanas they wear and I'll reward you with a weapon.
See you later.
Fair. Okay, our trainer is maybe around back. I don't think they like the Warlock trainers inside. The unsavory types are out here.
What can I do for you?
You there, Rambles, right? I hope you're sure about becoming a Warlock, because if you can't hold your own, you're likely to get pulled under. I'm to teach you, but I need to make sure you're strong enough first. There was a novice studying at the Abbey who ran off to join the Defias Brotherhood. Why do I care? Well, he stole some important books. One of those happens to be a book I wanted for myself, The Powers of the Void. Steal it for me. They have it hidden at their tent in the vineyards.
See you around.
I feel like we should... Part of me wants to make this a priority just to get the imp. Part of me is kind of worried that maybe the guys at the vineyards are a little bit higher level. So let's go deal with the kobolds first. We can train, I think, though. We should be able to get either Immolate or Corruption.
Well met.
We can get Immolate. So Immolate is a 2-second cast, costs 25 mana. Burns the enemy for 8 fire damage and then an additional 20 fire damage over 15 seconds. So it has a little bit of upfront damage, but the bulk of its damage is going to be delivered over time. Let's pull this guy out. When you see these F1 keys, I'm not hitting these on my keyboard. I have a Logitech G600 MMO mouse, and the thumb keys, I have about 9 of them I can hit easily. Those are what I have bound to the function keys. So when I tap that, I'm just tapping it with my thumb. Really awesome mouse, Logitech G600. If you play MMOs regularly and you don't have a good mouse solution, I would highly recommend you check it out, because it's awesome. Alright, and no, that's not a sponsorship. I don't have any sponsorships. It's just my honest opinion of the mouse I've been using for 10 years. Not quite 10 years. Feels like that. Alright, so we need vermin. We could also use a little bit of quest tracking, couldn't we? Let's do that. Now, I can have V-bars on, but I only want them on when we're in combat, so I will check that. I like you guys being able to see the health of the enemy up here once we're in combat, so you don't have to look down here. Let me see if I can just get those to show in... So not always show. We'll click that off. Enemy units with V. I think that's what we want. So there we go. They're turned on, but only in combat. So now when we're in combat, you guys will get to see the health. And I prefer that you guys be able to see it up here and keep your eyes on the screen and not have to glance down here to see what the enemy's at. That was a big resist there. Now that we have Immolate, that's going to deal some damage over time. I feel better about just stabbing and letting our mana regen. We should also probably try to work on getting our max range. We'll open with an Immolate. And maybe then go into a couple Shadow Bolts. Another big resist. I do feel like maybe the music is a little bit too low. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. I saved it. I saved the episode from having horribly quiet music. Alright, that should be a little bit better, guys. Sorry about that. Here I am saying I want the music to be loud, and you guys could probably barely hear it. All the players around here are definitely making short work of the vermin. I see lots of workers up. Not a lot of vermin up. And the closer we get to the mine, the less vermin there are going to be. Let's head this way a little bit. It's great to see the starting zone so busy that we have to wait for respawns. I actually really like that. One of the greatest things for me about doing the hardcore is just the community and the fact that like how many people are actively leveling in Classic here on this server. I didn't think I'd see anything like it. I didn't think we'd be so far into Classic, and to see people enjoying the vanilla version of the game in this way is really, really awesome. Screen captured, so that must have something to do with the hardcore add-on. It must cap our screen every level. This is as much general chatter as I've seen. Usually I have an immersion tab set up so that we don't see general chat. However, they don't talk a lot in general chat on this server, so I haven't set up the immersion tab or anything. But I know that chat is a distraction from immersion, so it even distracts me, kind of, if there's too much of it. So what I am going to do... yeah, and that could probably... Let's go into the settings. We don't need anything here in this window to show up at all, so we can disable all of that. Let's go to other. We want experience, we want rep, skill ups, item loot, any system messages or errors that happen, and then anything that like creatures or NPCs say. There we go, and that'll be our immersion mode. And then if something pops up here, maybe every once in a while I'll take a look at it. Sometimes people look for party members there for groups. So that would be an okay idea to take a look at that every once in a while. Especially when we're at the level range to do some dungeons. Alright, we do have all the vermin we need now. Let's go ahead and get this one turned in. We're level 3, so we could continue doing the Kobold stuff, or we could probably cross the river and go get our Voidwalker. Might not be a bad idea. I don't think I've ever located this guy. I don't really remember this quest. Let's see. Hidden in their tent in the vineyards. Okay, so somewhere in the vineyards there is going to be a tent.
What can I do for you?
Well done, citizen. Those kobolds are thieves and cowards, but in large numbers they pose a threat to us, and the humans of Stormwind do not need another threat. The tainted leather takes us to our class trainer, who we've already seen. Investigate Echo Ridge. Rambles, my scouts tell me that the kobold infestation is larger than we thought. A group of kobold workers has camped near the Echo Ridge mine to the north. Go to the mine and remove them.
For the Alliance.
So now we're after workers. Let's go ahead and track that one. And let's go sell everything from our bags. Make sure our bags are as clean as possible before we head out.
Well met.
Anything we can equip? Yes, we have a little bit of an armor upgrade here. We'll take what we can get.
Light bless you.
Let's go turn the breadcrumb into our class trainer, even though we don't need to train right now.
Need help? Safe travels.
Alright, let's go into the vineyard. Let's go fight some of the Defy Us guys out here, and let's try to look for the tent. I would very, very much like to get my imp as early as we can. So if I'm looking for tents, immediately I don't see one. And I can see back here pretty far. Then again, I don't really know what direction it's going to be in. Those little buildings aren't tents. They're like little outhouses or shacks. Let's go check in the other direction. We might as well fight a few of these guys while we're about it. They're level 4, which is not ideal, but I think it'll be okay. We'll see how our mana holds out. That's going to be the deciding factor. Ah yes, maintenance today. Lovely, lovely maintenance. That'll make it a shorter it'll be the first episode, it'll be a little bit shorter. I'm sorry about that, guys. And it'll probably make people think that maybe I die in the first episode. Which I hope that I don't. I hope we can actually live the next 15 minutes. That would be amazing. Ah, there's the tent. I see it. No, we are out of mana. We got him. It's a battle of attrition. Okay, what is going to happen here? There are the stolen books. Are we going to be able to pull them separately? Because we really can't afford to pull them together, and I really can't afford to get back attacked by this guy. Let's go ahead and clear this guy out. I don't like him behind me, especially when he's running around all erratically like that. That is not going to be okay. I'm tempted to drink, but we didn't bring a lot of water with us, you know what I mean? We pulled everybody. We pulled everybody. It's a 3-pull. Why is it a 3-pull? Okay, well we can deal with it. We can kill them one at a time and we can leash them like we just did. That's okay. We'll do what we have to do. If it's a 3-pull, it's a 3-pull. We can deal with it. Although a lot of danger already for an episode 1. Let's try to blow this guy up before his friend gets to us. Not quite. We don't have that kind of blowing up potential quite yet. I think we can just fight her. I don't think we... Well, I say that, and yet... Not having any mana is going to be a big issue. We need to get enough mana... Yeah, one more Shadow Bolt, maybe. There we go. Hi. Don't attack us, please. Crud. At least he waited patiently until we were done looting the item. I appreciate that. I hope the other part of the group doesn't respawn on top of us here. That would suck. We are going to need lots of water. I can already feel it. Lots and lots of water, guys. Eventually we'll get a wand, and we'll have more dots. Everything is going to get so much better. I'm not even worried about it. I know for a fact that I don't know a lot about the Warlock, but I know we can be very, very mana efficient later on. And not too much later on, like pretty soon later on. Pretty soon. Assuming we don't get killed here in Northshire Valley, which could always happen, I guess. Our natural regen isn't bad if I just sit on it for a second between fights. It's not too bad. This runner is back, except it's a lady now. Let's deal with her in the same way. And I think if we fight our way out of here and head back to the Abbey, then we should be good with this quest. Seems to be 100% drop rate. I could be wrong. It does seem to be 100%.
Hey there.
She thinks it's hilarious. It was too conspicuous for me to steal the book myself. What luck, one of their own patsies did the dirty work for me. Weird. Excellent. I was never able to gain access to this text. It was held in a protective wing of the library that would have looked suspicious for me to be loitering around. You did a good job in getting this, and I'm convinced that you can probably handle your own imp, so there's no reason for me not to show you how to summon one.
Be careful.
Perfect. Okay, let's see. Summon an imp under the command of the Warlock. And what is our imp's name going to be? Gobtai. Okay, I need to do a little bit of key binding here. Pet action 1, I'm going to bind to my tilde key. That's just so we can tell our pet to go attack. Otherwise, he's not going to attack until we get hit or until we click up here, but now I can activate that with the tilde key. That is what we needed to do. We have 7 minutes left. I think we can go take out these kobolds. Especially now that we have our imp.
What can I do for you?
Yes, we are back with the bandanas. Let's take the dagger. You've shown yourself a dependable warlock, Rambles. Dependable and not afraid to get your hands dirty. I have a friend, Amelia Amsworth, who is in some trouble. She's over with her wagon to the other side of the abbey near the stable. I'm sure she could use a pair of hands like yours.
Safe travels. You need
I am
something?
sure she could. Bounty on Garrick Padfoot. Garrick Padfoot, a cutthroat who's plagued our farmers and merchants for weeks, was seen at a shack near the vineyards, which lies east of the abbey. So we have been in that area. We will look for him
See you around.
next time we are over there helping Millie. How is our inventory doing? It's not terrible. We could probably train as well. I think we might get corruption this level.
For the Alliance.
And can we buy water from any of these people?
You need something?
Yes. Yes, we do. We need water.
Have a good one.
Let's train really quick, and then maybe we can make short work of some of the workers. Could have trained when I was over here, obviously.
Hello.
Corruption. So corruption corrupts the target, causing 40 shadow damage over 12 seconds. So it's also a 2-second cast right now. We'll be able to train that down to like an instant cast. And then Curse of Weakness reduces the amount of damage caused by the target to us by 3 for 2 minutes. We can't afford that one right now, so we will get that later. Not really a big deal. Let's just change this up a little bit. Something like that.
Hello. Have a good one. See you later.
She wants us to get her buckets of grapes. But we are not going to do that right now. We are going to come right over here. I like that we can send our imp in to attack while we eat. Or drink. Obviously, it will be better to do that when we have a Void Walker, since the Imp is not very tanky. Alright, we need one more. And we have 2 minutes until server shutdown. I wonder why they need to take the actual vanilla classic servers offline when they do maintenance. Do they really have that much maintenance they need to do on the vanilla classic servers that they have to take them down every week with the other ones? I guess it's just weekly maintenance that has to get done, right? We'll see if they come back up fast today, or if like the last couple weeks they are down for a while, because the last couple Tuesdays and some Wednesdays have been pretty rough for actually getting on any time in the day or morning. And that is when I play, so it's kind of impactful.
What can I help you with?
You can buy our junk. We don't have any gloves on. Let's go ahead and equip those. Let's get rid of this. Everything else can go.
Be careful.
And we can turn in this quest and maybe we can safely log out. Your previous investigations are proof that the Echo Ridge mine needs purging. Return to the mine and help clear it of kobolds. Waste no time, Rambles. The longer the kobolds are left unnoticed in the mine, the deeper a foothold they gain in Northshire.
Go with honor.
Alright, we will do that. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, guys. Sorry about that. I don't think about maintenance when I'm playing vanilla for some reason, apparently. But I will try to get on and do another hour today, so there will hopefully be 2 episodes coming out each day for this character, assuming that the servers are up and I can get on. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Obviously, we're just kind of brushing the surface here on this one. But so far, this game mode and this way of playing the game has been the most fun I have had in World of Warcraft in a very long time. So I'm very happy to be here on the Bloodsail Buccaneers server. And if you guys are interested in checking out hardcore, or if you just want to play the vanilla version of the game and be able to see other people in the world, I'm sure that's fine as well. But yeah, it's a really good time. Even if you're not doing hardcore, I feel like just being able to see other players doing the same thing that you're doing really makes the world feel alive, and it's really the best way to experience World of Warcraft. Thank you guys for being here. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. It would help me out a lot. And if you want to know when the next video comes up, ring the bell. That will give you a notification when the video goes live. Thank you guys again, and until next time, take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other. And we will see you back here again very soon. Bye for now.